That would be great.
It's got another place that there's fresh battery.
We're gonna go over this agreement and
You hear that?
come to terms with
See
it.
that truck on me?
We know this. Yeah. Right, we're changing it.
Well, if you don't want it, I just like to give them 5 minutes.
A review.
Just kind of like.
That's what we do, we're gonna make some people mad. You know, you can't.
Because if you got fired, you
Can't please everybody.
it doesn't do you good. But that's immaterial.
Flowers and stuff.
Like that, all right? What have you got you doing? I was working on a combine for a little while. Everything.
No, we don't get more.
He wants this is our engineer, just the mechanic. So any of us, I'm gonna go get new parts. Something like that, change stuff, so we start. I want to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Actually, we're going to resume the meeting from last night. That's what we're actually doing. So, do we still need a roll call? Probably.
Bill Weber.
Here.
Ronnie Wood.
Here.
Debbie Porter.
Here.
Richard Grice.
Here.
Christy Richards.
Here.
Mayor Carey.
Here.
Cheryl Hill. And Nina Vogel.
Okay, I think all of you know Lee, he's our engineer, and he's getting in on the tail end of this here. He just like a kind of a quick review before we go into the terms of this agreement on what you guys are wanting and not wanting, and just, I prefer you guys be doing the talking. So if you guys just want to pop in there and tell us what you're looking for, what you're not looking for.
Okay, so I think it's very important that towns and fire departments work together. Obviously, your local people, neighbors, so on and so forth. It's very important to work together to keep people safe in the town. So the existing system in town has a lot of 4-inch lines. So I think the statement's made that you guys want fire hydrants, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if the village went through and put 4-inch lines back in and fire hydrants at the end, would that make you happy? And I'm just asking a question.
Well, I thought we kind of agreed on the 6-inch line.
I agree, but I mean, the concept is you want fire hydrants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the existing system is 4-inch with fire hydrants. So really what you're wanting is flow at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You want flow out of that hydrant. So the village is going around and putting in 6-inch mains throughout the entire town. All of the flows, regardless if they put in a flush hydrant or fire hydrant, will be increased. 20-30% at a minimum, because the old is 4-inch cast iron. The coefficient of friction in it is very low, which, well, it's a low factor. It's very high. The coefficient of friction is reducing your flow. Flow through new PVC is much better than old ductile iron pipe. Okay? So regardless of the type of hydrant that's put in, the flow is going to go up. It's going to go up dramatically. So I'm just curious, when the concept is made, we want fire hydrants. What does that even mean? Because if you have a fire hydrant at the end of a 2-inch line, it ain't going to do you any good. If you got a flush hydrant at the end of a 6-inch line, you're going to get a lot more water out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The most important part in this system is the pipe. the hydrant at the end, and if anyone does hydraulics, the hydrant at the end is minuscule when you got 2,000 feet of pipe to get to that hydrant. Okay? But whether it's fire or flush, that's up to, I mean, that's really, I guess, up to the board and you guys to figure out. Now, one of the comments that was made at the last meeting is that the fire hydrants is a very important part of your system, and it affects your ISO rating for your entire system, right?
Mhm.
But if you drive around and look at those hydrants, do they all even operate?
You should.
So my point is, it would probably be a great idea for the fire department to work with the village. Because when you get a fire call and you go jump in your truck, you know it's full of gas, you know the tank's full of water, and whatever, that's your guys' stuff. But if you go down the street to the fire and you open a hydrant and no water comes out, you defeated your purpose. And what I'm getting at is not in relation to this project, it's in relation to you guys and these guys. If there's a huge disconnect between the fire department and the village board, I don't know how often do you guys flush hydrants? Do you flush
3
hydrants?
times a year.
3 times a year. I mean, you guys need to work together cohesively. Because if the fire department, if the fire hydrants are as important as you say they are, which I believe they are, obviously, because that's where the water comes out of, you got to know that every one of those work. I mean, if you guys don't know if those hydrants work, and you jump in your truck, and you go down to Joe's house, and you open a hydrant and no water comes out, then you got 600 foot of hose.
But the village has they maintenance the hydrants, not the fire department.
I understand that. But what I'm just saying is to work together.
I understand.
I'm just saying.
One of the things that was brought up today, I never even got to tell you that I talked to Cheryl about, is the wordage in the, talking about the flushing the hydrants, that the fire department might once a year also flush the hydrant, just enough to make sure that all 3 caps work and that they work.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, bickering and fighting between yourselves is more harmful than good. I mean, everybody should get along and work together.
It's been happening.
Okay, I mean, and you know, I think there's a disconnect somewhat between, you know, the village is trying to weigh rates, trying to keep everybody's rates down, and it'll be approximately $3 a month more to put hydrants in, fire hydrants, per person on a 40-year loan to pay for the hydrants. And that's based upon 48 hydrants. I didn't count them. Somebody threw that number out at the last meeting, and can't tell you that that's accurate. But $3 a month over a 40-year loan at 1.125% will pay to put hydrants in town. So, I mean, that's, I guess, your guys' decision if that's a good idea. I mean, obviously they think it's a good idea. And at the end of the day, we could sit here for an hour and a half and not get anything done, but that's where we're at.
Well, I don't think there's ever a question of going from 6 back to 4-inch mains. It's always 6.
I was just trying to stress the pipe is much more important than the hydrant. If you want to get more fire flow, then what you should do is run an 8-inch main all the way down to the southwest part of town. That would have, you know, for an extra, I'm going to throw out $50,000, that would have probably doubled or tripled your flow. Because all of your head loss is in the pipe. So.
I still wanted it to 40,000 gallons.
And you still only have so much water. That's a whole different story. That's all I want to say. You guys need to work together. You need to figure this out. But the biggest thing I want to stress is, you know, I drove around down in there and I didn't open any of the hydrants, but they don't look, maybe they all work. I don't know if they do or not.
They all work.
Do they all work? That's a good thing.
We check them.
I just know that some towns I've been to, they have hydrants that don't work. So that's a good thing.
At one point in time, several years ago, it did kind of get neglected. And we got to where we go around once a year and flush them and check all the caps and make sure everything was loose. And I think that we still have.
And I guess my point is, you wouldn't have someone maintain your
We
trucks.
already discussed the
And-
equipment.
You know, when you go to the fire hydrant, when you go to your firehouse, that truck's full of gas and it's ready to go. I'm sure you do. So the hydrants are, you know, just as important as a truck. Well, kind of. They're really
I
important.
do have a question on this.
So instead of putting all the maintenance on the village, I think it'd be a great idea for you guys to work, like you just said, go around with them once a year and flush all the hydrants and make sure they all work. So that's all I want to say.
Okay, I got a question for you. Now, right now, we've got some of the fire hydrants that have different flows at a different hydrant. Will this new 6-inch main kind of help take care of that?
It'll help take care of it, but keep in mind, the farther you get away from your tower, the lower the flow is going to be.
Right.
A lot of your 4-inch lines are very restrictive on your flows. Old cast iron flows is a lot, the head loss through an old cast iron main is a lot more than through a new PCC.
Okay.
So you're still going to have a lot less flow in the southeast part of town compared to next to your standpipe.
By a lot less, you just brought it? I mean, I know you can't tell me exactly, I'm just curious.
I'm going to say at least 30%. If you got 1,000 gallons a minute there, you'd probably be lucky to have 600-700 over there.
But it'd be a lot more than what we've got now.
Oh, a lot more, yeah.
So we're still getting it.
And that was, and I think the board knew that when we were doing this project, by adding 6-inch mains and replacing all the 4-inch main, they were going to help you guys out.
Yep.
I mean, and that was part of the goal.
Part of the goal.
But they were trying to also minimize rate increases. So,
Okay, thanks, Lee. Bill, you got a question, you said?
Okay, it's logistics. All right, we've decided now we're going from the smaller hydrants to the larger hydrants. We're breaking ground on this project next week. Changing the equipment now at this point in time, what kind of monkey wrench, if any, is that going to throw into it?
I talked to the contractor, and I believe there will be no additional charges except for the additional cost for the hydrant. So I'm going to call him after I leave here tonight. You guys vote to do whatever you're going to do. His cost for a 6-inch fire hydrant with a 6-inch gate valve is around $5,000, and his bid price for the flush hydrant with a 4-inch valve is, I'm going to say $2,700, so don't quote me on that. Last week, we were throwing around the number of a $2,000 per hydrant increase, so it's going to be around $2,300. And I think the paper I sent to you said the rate increase would be a little over $2 to do 48 of them. I did not count that. I can't tell you there's 48 of them. But with the 2,300, you'll probably be under $3. So.
Anything else? No? All right, everyone's got a copy of this agreement. Anyone else have any more questions? I think the fire department has, they're requesting 49 fire hydrants with none of the flushing hydrants and no 2-port flushing hydrants. And I'm in total agreement with that myself. Are you guys?
What we all discussed last night.
I'm just going over it for the record. So I need someone to give me a motion to sign this contract.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say. Well, first of all, my question, all the applicable parties have read this document out and agreed to it?
Most everybody's got a copy of it.
Okay.
Mayor, can you go over the terms that you're gonna write in the spaces?
The spaces are where it says total number of fire hydrants, it's got the number 49 and written out 49. Total number of flushing hydrants with 1 port will read none with a 0. Total number of flushing hydrants with 2 ports will read none with a 0. On the back, you've got termination of this agreement is effective for 3, with the 3 written out years, and automatically renew the 1st of August of each year, and that's all the spaces.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I have the motion correct. We need a motion to sign the contract with the fire department. Debbie, is that what your motion is?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Yes.
I'm going to go back through them. Rodney? Yes. Bill?
Yeah.
Richard?
Yes.
Debbie?
Yes.
And Christie?
No.
Passes.
I feel bad.
Oh, I know.
There's always got to be,
I don't feel bad. I think my feelings are
that
clear.
way we're bipartisan.
I know.
It's good to have that.
I gotta stand up for what I believe in, just like everybody else, so.
You guys are in agreement? You make a motion to change the flush hydrant to fire hydrant?
I've got it on here,
Sorry.
so, yeah. The next on the agenda would be to discuss and vote on the water main project scope change order to 49 hydrants. Is that
It'll just be the amount in this project. If you
The
just
what?
say the amount in the phase one project.
the amount of the phase one
Yeah,
project?
'cause I
That's
think
how-
49 is the entire town, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're right. So, I don't know what the amount is, you just want me to say the amount of the phase one project?
I think that's definitive because it's in the bid documents.
Okay, someone want to make a motion to approve the scope change to the amount of the phase one project for fire hydrants?
Okay, approve scope change project, approve scope change,
For the amount of fire hydrants of the phase one project.
fire. Okay,
Put
got
my
it.
name down, second that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Go figure.
Who made the motion to adjourn? Sorry,
That's all right.
Debbie and Robbie second.
I need you to put the seal.
So you're done?